Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Get on funk in the house. Gotta keep moving. Are you ready to get down? Kick the funk, let it rock. Come on, bounce with the rhythm, bounce with the rhythm. 1, 2, what's that sound? Short shot, rock your body, drop it out. Come on, kick the funk, let it rock. Come on, bounce with the rhythm, bounce with the rhythm. 1, 2, what's that sound? Short shot. Bring the funk back. People in the back, come on, turn the party out. People in the front, keep moving, boom. Shake the room. People in the back, come on, turn the party out. People in the front, keep moving, boom. Now what's that sound? Come on, bounce with the rhythm, bounce with the rhythm, bounce with the rhythm. What's that sound? Come on, bounce with the rhythm, bounce with the rhythm, bounce with the rhythm. Kick the funk, come on. Rock to the ghetto funk. I said rock to the ghetto funk, rock to the rhythm, rock to the rhythm, rock to the ghetto funk. Kick the funk, let it rock, come on. Kick the funk, let it rock. Gotta go. Rock to the ghetto funk. Rock to the ghetto funk. Rock to the ghetto funk. Rock to the rhythm. Rock to the ghetto funk. Kick the funk. Let it rock. Come on, bounce with the rhythm. Bounce with the rhythm. Bounce with the rhythm. What's that sound? Come on, bounce with the rhythm. Bounce with the rhythm. Bounce with the rhythm. Kick the funk. Come on. Rock to the ghetto funk. Kick the funk. Come on. Kick the funk. Kick the funk. Rock to the ghetto funk. Kick the funk, come on. Kick the funk.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth!
Phase 2.
Oi.
Hello.
What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to the Not Fazed Talk Show. It's the 11th of July.
It is.
Everyone out having fun at the bonfires tonight.
Yep. Everyone will be out beating their drums.
Tomorrow they'll be beating the drums. They'll be beating some kick drums.
Looking forward to the festivities, are you?
Yeah, I'm long past that these days.
I've never.
Go watch a bonfire the night.
Yeah.
And then see what happens.
We take the kid down to the bonfire in Orangefield.
There's one not far from you, isn't it?
It's literally the bottom of our street around the corner a bit, like, so.
Do you see that one in Larne? There's something to pull up for American listeners. We'll see it fucking say. I'll get a photo here. This says yes.
I seen they were talking to the people in Norway who done the other bonfire, and they're like, next year we'll do like a cross community, cross country world record attempt at a bonfire. I was like, where are you going to do it? In the middle of between here
North
and
Sea, on one of them fucking oil platforms.
Aye. then the oil catches on fire and fucking blows up.
Crazy. Like, it is mad. It's like, we were looking at this one earlier. Like, the engineering that's went into this one is fucking insane. Like,
It's mental.
someone has to.
But then where do you get all the pallets from?
They buy them, mate. They literally buy them. They pay for them, like.
Right.
So you can buy, because the CM blue ones, like, they're worth a couple of quid. Like, so seeing I used to work up in the warehouse, people used to come in and buy the pallets. Not people like looking for bonfire wood, just pallet bars, because they're strong and sturdy, and people always need pallets.
Yeah.
So they would come in and they would pay maybe £1 a pallet, and then people sell them on. So, like, for a lorry of one of them, they're probably paying a couple of £100 for a lorry full of them to come out.
Yeah.
It's madness, like. But they go around the doors and get the money off all the local residents.
Oh, is that?
They have Scott Project and
Sam Jones playing at it.
Times have changed.
It'll be an interesting one, like for Frank. For Sam.
No.
But like I said, what's going on here?
There's an actual live stream of them doing it.
Doing what? Building
it.
So are they trying to break the record that they set last year?
I think so. And just for those wondering, it's actually Sunday.
Right now, yes.
Right now, Sunday. Let's see how it fucking says this thing.
It is massive. Like how big that crane is.
Like, this is getting set on fire, folks. They're cheaters, like, they get the point on right up to get that extra. It's 300 it was 300 pallets high last night whenever I seen them posing. There's the workers coming. That's a full-time job, like.
I know, like, even doing that there, like having the cranes and all the rigging and everything in just to make sure that it's safe.
It costs money, like, to rent them fucking things out.
Especially how big that crane is. The dog's going nuts.
Ew! Is that a fucking camera crew there with a...
Aye, the boom mics.
I want to see the fucking bonfire again, these dicks. There we go. Culture.
Culture is right. Are we culture?
Fucking hell, you know. Imagine building a bonfire, 300 plus foot off the ground.
It's at least they've done it right, and it is very cross community to a certain degree, and it's not the usual bigoted bonfires, and they are trying to be.
They don't burn flags or anything.
Yeah, like they're trying to say everybody can come to this. Like, we are burning bonfires, but it's not just for the broads; it's for everyone.
Yeah, that's it. And but it's a bit like that fila or fla or whatever however you pronounce it. But as the years have went on, the more like Protestants are actually going there.
Yep.
Like, if you go up there, like, there's fucking hundreds, if not thousands, of Protestants actually attend that night. Same with the stuff in the Woodville Park. Catholics coming across for it, which is, I mean, that's what you want.
Good to see.
That's what you want. But you still get people going, oh, they shouldn't be coming in the R Park. Fuck off.
Why not?
No, why not? Why shouldn't?
I've seen a photo last night. 100 years ago.
I've seen a photo last night of 2 kids in Gaelic tops in
with
Cookstown,
the fella with the drummer,
the big bass drum, and they were hitting the bass drum. And everyone's going, like, some people underneath are going, no, it's the parents have raised them right. Yeah, but it's also the bandsmen don't care. Like, any bandsmen I know don't care.
They're not going to turn around and be like, oh, you're wearing a Gaelic top, get away. At the end of the day, if you can encourage a younger generation, regardless of their religious beliefs, to show here, we're not actually dicks. All we're doing is just baiting drums.
We enjoy doing this. This is what we enjoy doing. It's not sectarian. It's the same with, like, because this is what I always don't understand. See, if you see people in the Protestant community, they look at the Gaelic sports the same way the Catholics look at the bands. Now, I know it's a sport, but as crazy as that sounds, they look in the Protestant community. They look at, like, the names of Gaelic football pitches, which are after, like, dead IRA men and all.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So the Protestants look at that the same way as they look at as Catholics look at the bands. But it's not like most people who are in a band genuinely they don't care. It's just they love the band.
They just want to go out and play tunes. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what walk of life or what creed or whatever you do. There's always going to be some people within any job or whatever to dick. Yeah. And you can't help that. But the majority of people are, as you say, just out for the day, the festivity of it all, going and baiting your drum.
See, people look at the bands as only the 12th, but see the bands, it's it's from April till October.
Yeah.
And it's most barmen hate the 12th. Most barmen want to go and walk in competitions all around the country and win prizes. That's what people don't understand. Like, they walk maybe 50 times a year. And then it's the same with the Gaelic. Like, it's a fucking sport. That's what I've always looked at it. But then when you hear people talk about it, you're like, how are you drawing that conclusion that it's an IRA-funded sport out of a fucking... you know what I mean? It's the same both ways. It pickles my head how people just can't get on.
Again, it's the joys of our lovely wee country. People can latch on to anything and use it as some sort of bigoted stick to beat you with.
That's it. Good job music has made us fucking... That's one thing about
inclusive of everything.
Hard music. Any music in general is like, you go there's all walks of life.
It doesn't matter. People
doesn't
don't really go, where are you from? Well, they do, but it's more because they're all fucking loving life and getting to know each other, as opposed to being like, am I going to have to fight you in a minute?
Am I going to a party after up there or not?
Yeah, How bad is my knees going to be done if I go to this party?
I know. Madness.
But it's...
Happy 11th and 12th, folks. Let's get off that.
From tonight to next week?
But go on holiday this time 2 weeks, so I'm excited.
I'm sure you are. We're going to have to fucking listen to this like the way we did last year.
I know.
I'm
on holiday.
Holiday.
I know.
Where are you going?
Same place, exactly the same place, same hotel, everything.
Oh, fuck, right, happy days.
So I would know what we're in for this time.
And the kids will be happy because they know their surroundings and stuff as well.
Stupid cunts, mate. We say when we go back last year, right, we'll book for next year.
Yeah.
And then we left at last minute again. We only booked a couple of fucking...
I remember you just came out just before we were doing the podcast or something, and you just were like, I just booked a holiday.
A few days before you went away, we booked it.
Yeah.
And then, but last year we were like, we'll book early. And I mean, because it does get more expensive the closer you get. Now the place is fucking really nice. Like, I mean, it is a fucking nice gaff. Like, but it's still, for the money we paid.
You could have got a few quid off it.
For the money we paid for it, we could have, if we had booked this time last year, we could have been somewhere even better. Do you know what I mean? That's fucking stupid dickheads, man.
But you live and you learn.
2 years in a row, mate.
Well, then you live.
You
learn.
Don't learn. Fuck's sake.
That'll be good. I would love to go on another wee holiday.
I've plenty of stuff coming up working ways. It should be fun.
Yeah. Plenty of stuff going.
Oh,
I was on the bus the other day, mate, coming back from Newcastle, up visiting, Seaford, up visiting some of the Coles family.
I know. I've seen your picture of the headphones.
That needs must. Do you know what I mean?
I
was like, I can't be set. Well, see, to be fair, the funny thing about that was
didn't even fucking.
I didn't use them in the end because I was sitting there, right, sitting in the back of the bus, double decker.
The back of the bus is in the hopper.
And then just out of
What
nowhere.
else did you sing? We used to sing the back of the bus is in the huff because they can't smoke like us.
We never sang nothing.
Get in, get out, stop fucking about. You're in the army now. They're the front of the bus. Sorry, it was the front of the bus in the huff because they can't smoke dope like us. We used to sing it all.
We never had no songs on the bus. It was just, here, bus driver, can we smoke? That was it. But I always sit in the exact same spot in the bus. Anytime I get it, I just think I feel like it's the perfect seat.
What happens if someone's there?
Oh, then I just have to fucking
adapt,
improvise, adapt, and overcome. Hit them with fucking punch.
And as soon as they get up, do you bounce back in that spot?
No. I'm not that bad. But on this unfortunate occasion, when I got on the bus, it was empty. It was just me. Whipped the laptop out, had the headphones in, and then 15 kids get on from Ballyclare, Bally something up that direction.
Right.
And proceeded to filter in.
Do you know how
many
me. Ballies there is? And I was thinking there, Ballysalon, Ballyclare, Ballymoney, Ballyhalbert. I was like, for fuck's sake.
But yeah, so they proceeded to filter around me, and there was like 2 seats in front of me over there.
Was there a bit of resonance on the filter?
Oh fuck! Very good.
Producer joke.
And, oh mate, they were just dicks. They were just wee 18-year-olds who were from the country going to Belfast for the night, and they were all drinking. And then I was sort of sitting there when they were all having their drinks, and you could hear wee girls being like, so you going to go with them and all the night? Oh, you going to go? And then like, we were all swapping seats to chat. And I was like, you are doing my fucking head in. And then once they started drinking, I was like, right, well, I've got a half a bottle of wine left in my bag here. And I've got my vapes, so I just sat there and fucking drank this wine. And
Blame it on them.
No, fuck, I was going to say they're exactly not going to turn around and say anything to me. Excuse me, mister, what are you doing? It's like, fuck up, you children. But they got on pretty early in my bus journey, and I was on the bus for an hour, just surrounded by like I couldn't even hear my music turned up full whack. Well, I could hear it, but I was still very aware of all the shouting and stuff going on around me. I was like, guys, you have an entire top deck of this bus. Why did you have to filter in around me? That's why I sit here, so people don't fucking do this, you absolute cretins.
Just drove you crazy.
At one point, mate, I genuinely was going to get up and ask them, could I get a picture? Because I was going to just sit and take the piss out of them on a podcast, and it would be fun to show the viewers.
Bus wankers!
I was wondering what you were doing there.
Just so you's here. Ew.
Bus wankers!
Very good.
Oh, nah, no, so you were going to shout at them?
I know I was going to just ask them for a fucking picture and be like, guys, I'm going to just sit and call you massive cunt on a podcast. Any chance I can get a picture just to show the viewers and the listeners? And then I was like, nah, it might be a bit weird if the fucking older guy gets up and goes, excuse me, do you mind if I get a picture with all yous? Gotta go home and fucking rub myself to it later, you know? I mean, podcast.
Because he does like fucking kids, remember?
I'm never going to be able to. It's worse because
I keep forgetting to pull it out.
That's how you end up with 2 kids. Oh, you are dicks.
But no, fuck. I mean, I can't even relate, mate. I don't understand the
the plight of a bus wanker.
I don't like, but I have been that wanker before. Like I do remember being on buses as a kid and being a fucking just a dickhead, like just a fucking knob.
Yeah, I would
not
imagine,
just me, like
I know, but
everyone,
I would imagine that you and your fellow Shank Kellyans.
you know who.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Did you see that there's fucking sharks now off the coast of Ireland?
I've seen like videos of stuff.
They've said that great whites now are going to start being more predominant on our beaches in the summer because they're tracking food and because of the oceans warming.
Yeah.
The food's now starting to come off the coast of Ireland. It's like wonderful.
Jesus Christ.
Just what we fucking need. Great whites.
That is scary, that. Saying that, I don't go in to see that often, but it's
wouldn't.
It's the point in the one they're out there.
I love going in to see when I'm away in like Lanzarote and something. I wouldn't go here.
But if they're going to if they're coming here, surely they'll be around there as well,
Aye, but my reason for not going into the sea here is because the amount of sewage gets pumped into the ocean.
Oh,
like, in Lanzarote, you can see the bottom of the ocean. I'm pretty sure that there's not a turd floating past me.
Yeah. See, to be fair, see, on a nice day up Port Rushby, it's quite fucking clear. I wouldn't do it in Belfast Loch, like.
Oh no, definitely not.
Not a chance, mate. Not a chance.
God knows what's living there. You end up like that 3-eyed fish off The Simpsons or something, Blinky.
It's growing a fucking arm out of your back.
Just wake up one morning, you're having a scratch. Like, what am I scratching myself with? Both my hands are here.
You wake up blind one morning, there's 2 balls hanging down past your eye.
What the fuck
what's going on? Ball bag guy.
Oh, mate. You and your thoughts, like even when you're singing them songs earlier, I was like, what goes on in your head?
I know.
1600 vampires and all, what the fuck? Did you see how I made that rhyme, did you?
I made it rhyme alright, actually. But no, we made that tune. We remixed Jerry Cinnamon. How do you pronounce the second name? Isn't it Cinnamon? Cinnamon in my tongue.
Cinnamon.
She's a belter. And then I was going, fuck, I definitely done something like that. And I looked in my notes, and from April, at like 10 o'clock at night, I wrote a thing out about she's a stinker.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, about her fucking fanny stinking and all.
But that's something that we were actually saying, not about stinky fannies, but we were saying that until that song, there's one song in life that you can't sing without changing your voice to a Scottish person.
Yeah.
And it's the I Would Walk 500 Miles tune. Like, you can't just sing that in your normal accent. Everyone changes their voice to be Scottish for that song. Yeah. And that belter tune's the same. Like, it doesn't feel right singing it just in a normal voice. It has to be
I agree,
in the Scottish tone for it to work.
I never thought of that either until you said it when we were producing it, and I was like, right enough. Like, the whole time I was going, she's a belter.
You can't
just can't
do it.
I challenge anyone out there to sing it in a Northern Irish accent or
It's
an
like
American
whenever they used to
accent.
do that thing for fruit pastels, it's like, oh, I bet you can't put one in your mouth without chewing. It's like that there. I bet you can't sing a Scottish song without changing to a Scottish accent at any point.
Once you pop, you won't stop. What was that, Pringles? That's true, Bill. That like.
It is for
And
Pringles.
see Pringles. See you
100%.
open a box of Pringles and you fucking get they're nice. You're like,
I'm not a big Pringles fan,
I'll eat
like,
a
but
box
once I do
in
have
one
a
sit.
couple of Pringles, yeah, they're gone.
I'll eat a box in one sitting, no problem. Like barbecue, fucking great.
Oh, the barbecue ones are good.
I was laughing about it. Heller brought them in the other night, and I was like, because again, like all crisps, some are hit and miss.
Yeah.
And I was like, I opened them and I was like, fucking hell. So I like literally one sitting, I mauled the full box. I like they were great. Heller stands in Tesco's and shakes the box. For me, not for her. So she'll stand in Tesco's and shake the box to see if they break easy. If they break easy, then they're nice. If they don't break easy, they're hard and they're not that nice. And nearly every time, she has like a fucking 9 out of 10 success
Are you
rate.
shitting me
Aye.
here?
So I says, fucking hell, you've been nailing this here. Like, you're great, get more of them. She goes, that's because I fucking stand like a dickhead in Tesco's and shake the box. Mate, last night, we were in Tesco's and I says, hi. She's used to doing that anyway. And, so we were in Tesco's last night and I says, get more of Pringles. And she stood there, mate. She must have went through 9 boxes, like,
I
shaking
genuinely
them.
thought you were going to tell me she shakes it to see like if there's more flavour in them or something because of the way the box goes.
It's sound logic what she's doing because see the ones that are really nice.
But then you
the-
get
the-
lots of broken Pringles, you know.
It's alright, you just put them in the bowl. So, so like if the nice ones they'll come apart easy. They're
Yeah.
like thin, they're thinner. The not so nice ones are thicker, and that's the only way I can describe it. And as I say, 9 out of 10 success rate recently.
Well, there you have it, folks. If you want to get a good packet of Pringles,
I
go
will
and
get her
whack
to
them off in the
do-
supermarket.
We'll TikTok her one day. We'll bring her and
Just follow her, peep out.
But we went in last night. She showed me her doing it. Me and I were standing there. And she says, "I'm sure people think I'm a dickhead," but I'm like, you have no idea how much
I appreciate you so much for doing
I
this, though.
You have no idea how much I appreciate her standing in Tesco's a couple of nights a week, shaking 50 boxes of Pringles.
Oh, I don't know these ones. These ones seem like they could be a bit.
I think, but her logic was she was fed up buying them and coming back and then no one eating them. Because
Right,
it was
okay.
stinking, you know what I mean? So now I just ban them. And
To
they're
make
getting
sure they get
mauled.
eaten. See, I think it's more that it's touch and go with flavourings on Chris these days. Like you can get a packet that's sort of load of flavour and all, like
Yeah.
and then you can get like see corn snacks as well. I feel like they've since like sugar tax and all like let's get healthy recipes came in that corn snacks are not as good as what they used to be
It's
whenever
the
we were
same
kids.
with Lucasade, the fucking.
Ah, yeah,
Lucasade,
definitely
like,
not the same.
It's still better out of a tin, mind.
What Lucasade? 100% agree with
better.
you.
But it's still like I remember I went on like a Lucasade. I'm never drinking that again. Just fucked it up for like 2 years, and then I started. It's not actually that bad, but then see the original Lucasade.
Because you can't remember the original
That's what
Lucasade
it
anymore.
is. I remember there was a thing Energy or something that was called.
Like a black version of Lucasade?
No, it was a startup company that was trying to bring back the original flavour of Lucasade,
Right.
and it's just a couple of years, 2020 anyway, because I got it delivered whenever I just got back from New York, so it was just before the pandemic.
Aye.
And mate, they were in bottles, glass bottles. There was 6 of them. And it was dear, like it was like 30 quid or something for 6. But it was a startup. They were trying to get funding to do more, and it was identical to the original Lucasade.
Can you remember original Lucasade?
I don't think so now, mate. No. But again, this was only whenever they stopped doing original Lucasade.
Oh, right,
you know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
It was 3 years ago. It's actually mad how much that annoys me. Like
Did they change them?
that they changed it.
They do there's so many things as well now. It's like, why?
I know they're dickheads, mate.
What, speaking of change, see the BBC are going to sack another presenter
What for?
for being a pedo.
Bollocks.
Some unnamed public figure with the BBC.
That was my next question. Who is it?
He hasn't been named for legal reasons. Obviously, he's got an injunction or a
Yeah.
gagging order in place. But
Is he a presenter? Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they said. Just a BBC presenter, a well-known BBC presenter. So he was asking some underage wee girl to send him pictures and specific poses and stuff. But he paid her like 35 grand for a
Why,
picture. And
Is that illegal? Is it?
yeah, I mean, just the same old nonsense that all them TV folks seem to be at, and bringing them to award shows and paying them lots of money for pictures, and then the mum and dad found out and reported it to the BBC, and the BBC were like, okay.
That's mad, but
Thanks
the
for
man
telling
there
us.
reported it to the BBC and not the police because they know the BBC are going to settle with a massive check. They're going to cut a big check and go, here, your daughter's been diddled by, let's pretend we know who it is, Alan Titmarsh.
Well, if anybody's going to be it, it'll be going to be Alan Titmarsh.
Alan Titmarsh has been diddling your daughter in the back while he's fixing your garden.
He's all them wee trumpets are for.
He's been planting seeds in her arsehole. He's got a big grow coming. Watch. Just touch it and watch it grow.
Fucking miracle grow.
Where do you see? It's 2 inches. Now it's 6 inches.
Have you ever seen a marrow this big?
Have you ever seen it spit this far?
I just... What fucks me off is that we're all, regardless of whether we do or not, expected to pay a TV license to cover all them fuckers.
Yeah.
And it's quite clear that all these TV organisations are covering up for their
employees
doing bad shit because it's getting them.
Other people are paying for because I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, well, that's but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, what stage is it going to come where people are just going to say, no, I'm not, why do we need the BBC anymore?
I know. I've said this, just do it as a subscription model.
Yeah.
But the reason they won't do it is because no one will pay for it.
Because their
what's the only
program's
good thing
shite.
on it? Match a day and fucking EastEnders.
Is EastEnders on BBC?
Aye.
I'm sure EastEnders
Peaky
is...
Blinders.
Apparently EastEnders is getting cancelled now because nobody's watching it anymore.
I don't blame them.
Because the
Carnage
storylines are
suits better.
too woke and just shit.
Do you see that their Bud thing and all in America where they lost like fucking
the Bud
20 odd billion?
Light.
Aye. 20 odd billion. Imagine losing that over something stupid like that.
They
But I agree.
They got rid of the girl they were using after a month. They were like, we're just going to part ways. This kind of didn't
seen
go
that.
too well. And now
See-
they're all after them because they're like, you
I
never
so-
stuck up for her.
They lost their normal drinkers, like, normal fucking fellas.
Yeah.
They lost all them because they done this, and then now they've lost all the like LGBT, whatever we call it.
Yeah,
They've
community.
lost because they crazy. But see, if you're selling a product, you shouldn't be political or like you
No.
should just sell your product, like because no matter what, once you step into that world. There's 50, it's 50-50, like 50%'s going to hate you or 50%'s going to love you.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing it in the right, with the right intentions. Like, I don't think they done that to be dicks.
Oh, definitely
They were
not. They
trying to
haven't.
be
They
nice.
haven't went out of their way and thought, you know what we'll do? We'll go and wipe off a lot of money off our stock prices for a laugh.
Yeah.
But at the same time, don't jump on the fucking bandwagon just
But
because
see-
it's the flavour of the week.
It's the normal people that suffer. Do you know why? Because, right, do you think all them executives are not still getting paid millions?
Yeah.
Of course they are. Right, they've lost a load of sales, right? Do you know who they're laying off? The warehouse workers, the delivery drivers. It's normal people that lose out.
Yep.
It's not the fucking bigwigs. It's the fucking normal working class people because, oh right, we've not
And then
got
once their
deliveries going
business
out
goes
today.
bust, they're like, oh, I don't understand how because you decided to keep your
Yeah.
multi-million-pound paydays and didn't look after the people who kept your business
Yeah.
running.
Oh, right. We've got X amount of deliveries short this month because of what happened. Okay. See you in the warehouse. Warehouse is being closed down. See all them delivery drivers. Probably hundreds of thousands of people worldwide.
Yeah.
Right. Your hours are cut. It's the normal working man suffers. It's not the company. They all the company will still be making money. The people that own it, all the investors will still get their money. Yes, it's not worth 26 billion more, but that's all right. Just lay all them off.
Exactly.
It's my thoughts on it.
Problem solved.
Aye.
Next.
The working man gets fucked again.
That's it.
And turned into a right communist.
It's because you're watching all them fucking videos about the Ukraine war.
I know.
And God knows what else is now popping up in your algorithm.
Yeah, there's a fucking podcast network called Noiser. So like it's all history podcasts.
Right, okay.
Class, mate. It's really good. It's just like am I born you here? I would check it out. Noiser's called. It's got a short history of this, and then it goes through fucking hundreds of episodes, and it's really good. So
Right.
people listen to my podcast history, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" The Mayans and the fucking Vikings.
I know, but I find all that shit interesting. I think they should teach that more in school than what they do teach
I know.
in school for history, because it would be a lot. Like I enjoyed history in school, but it was kind of just because it was the best of a bad situation.
It
But
is.
once I then left school and started finding out about the Mayans and all these lost civilizations and how like Mesopotamia started and fucking Göbekli Tepe and all that there,
Yeah.
you're like, This is far more interesting than fucking how the Night of the Long Knives happened during World War. Is it the World War Two?
Yeah.
One? I don't know. One of the
World War
World
Two.
Wars. But like, yes, I get that that's beneficial because our grandparents were involved in it. But at the same time, fucking the ancients are cool.
It's because it's stories, mate. That's what's cool about them. Like, where if you go to math and even English, I know English is stories, but you're learning how to read and that. Whereas, but whenever you're in history, they're teaching you stories,
Yeah.
telling you stories. It's fucking brilliant.
Things that's happened.
But,
It's mad the all that LiDAR technology now and how they're able to see stuff through the canopy.
I started
of-
watching the Graham Hancock.
Oh, aye,
I
his
started watching it. Ancient Apocalypse.
yeah, it's fucking great, isn't
I'm
it?
about 3 in, like.
And it's handy because they're only wee short half an hour episodes.
Yeah.
But he said it took him 10 years to make it. That's why
Aye,
I think
but-
a sequel will not come out time soon.
I don't think it means it's 10 years filming. I think it's just 10 years
Aye,
of
it's
research.
Aye, that's what. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
still 10
Yeah.
years, whether you're filming or not. It took you 10 years to make a documentary.
I know. It is crazy. It is actually fucking. It's insane. And see, to be fair, it's quite compelling. Like
It's very
what I've
compelling.
seen so far. You're
And
going
it's not like tinfoil hat stuff.
No.
It's just basic science.
evidence. There's a
It's like,
fucking
well,
shit
if
ton of
you accept
evidence
the
there.
science for all these other things in life that you say are true, then why is the science not applicable to this occasion?
Yeah, it is madness because there's no the arguments against it aren't very good.
No, it's kind of, this is
The-
just what we said ages ago. Well, why can't it change? Because it can't, alright?
We can't waste more paper by changing the history books. Basically,
Yeah.
that's basically what they're saying is we can't really go back and rewrite it now because we've
There's
taught that many
there's
people.
too many people make a career out of what the current thing is now, and if that changes, then they lose their jobs instantly.
It's quite like the medicine thing. See if you see most people who qualify as a doctor.
Mhm.
See 5 years after they leave college,
Yeah.
their medical degree is basically useless because things have evolved
It evolves
that
so
much.
quickly,
It
yeah.
evolves so quickly. It's like, so why can't that come down to what is it, archaeology and stuff? Like, why
Yeah.
can't they fucking accept it and just do it?
That is the one thing I find mad, because I don't know whether I talked about this or not in the podcast, but in my early life, that's what I wanted to do as a job. I wanted to be an archaeologist, so I've always have taken a fascination in it. But it's the hypocriticalness of something that's meant to be a very open thought process, and it's being like, right, okay, well, just because it's here and it shouldn't be here doesn't mean that let's try and figure it out. Like, you'll have people, the world was flat, but we now know that the world wasn't flat.
Yeah.
And
It's
that was
not?
fine.
What do you mean?
That all changed.
I
the
fucking-
thought-
I
the
was
thought that
watching these
fucking-
YouTube videos that say it's flat, like
The big ice wall.
oh, it's fucking- it's like Game of Thrones over there.
But even things with like, oh yeah, I can't remember the place. There's somewhere in Athens, and they said Troy, and said,
Troy,
"Aye, there's
yeah.
no way that'll ever exist." And then they found Troy, and there's lots of wee things that changed history, and now it's got to the point where people are just, no, we've discovered everything. I always think, if you dig down a level and you find a civilization, right? Most archaeology stops there. They're like, oh, right, sweet, we found the
Aye.
civilization. But if you got rid of the civilization that you've just found and scrub that and dig another 100 feet down,
Like Mexico City.
what's going to be there?
That's
Aye,
where
yeah.
that's where the Mayans, or was it the Aztecs? Like
Aye, the
most
biggest
of their
pyramid.
stuff is gone because Mexico City
Is on
once
top
the
of it.
Spanish took over, Mexico City was built on top of it. But then they started digging down, they started finding all these tombs and chambers
Yeah.
and all. So like you're right there. Like, so who was to say the Aztecs didn't wipe out whoever was there
But
beforehand?
they have found evidence, so a lot of these pre-cultures that we know now built their sites of worship and land on sites that they already had come across because they had been told that this was a sacred place. So it's like, well,
Yeah.
if they've built here for that reason, what's under this? But you can't dig under this ancient civilization that you found because, oh, you're wrecking their stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, I just want to see what's past it.
I know.
Let's
There
just
could be
go
a
an
ho-
extra 20 feet. See
There
what
could be
happens.
flying cars down there that the fucking great floods took out.
Oh, I don't think we'll go that far with the. Actually, they'd be
I
well rusted by
I
now.
seen one about, like, because we are musicians, obviously. The Egyptians used vibrations
Yep, seen
to
that.
move the. Maybe that was their
Acoustic vibrations
Aye.
to move the big heavy blocks.
so their civilization didn't rely on electricity as such,
Mm-hmm.
but it was sound vibrations. So they were able to do great things with these sound vibrations.
But it's the
Now-
same way you see them experiments where they put, like, is it Play-Doh or cornstarch or something on top of a speaker, and whenever you change the frequency, the layout of the liquid will
Yes.
change where it is.
Yeah.
That's the same principle as what
Yeah.
they think that if they did use sound frequencies, that's how it would have been done. It's just
Yeah.
they play a frequency into whatever it is, and then it resonates to help things. But again, it's all theoretical because we can't do it.
Yeah. But in theory, we could do it. It would just take some more research. Which, why would you do research when you can just get a crane to lift something?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And again, just because the last civilization, right? Let's say the Egyptians, for talk's sake, used that. They used vibrations to move everything. But then the civilization before that could have used some manipulation of water.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, just because we're not doing it, we think because of this time and how advanced we are now that no one else was near us or whatever. But it just might be that it's not. I'm not saying this, but like Graham Hancock and people like that are saying that civilizations grow and then are destroyed, grow and are destroyed, and he thinks it's a constant cycle because of the impacts of asteroids or floods or whatever.
But that's it. But it's whenever they're talking about the Younger Dryas impact theory, it's like it's so hard to wrap your head around the levels of temperature and cold fluctuation that they're talking about, because it's even more fanciful than anything you've seen in the film. When they're like, we would have heated up to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit within a second. Like, the fires were everywhere. You can't really wrap your head around that, and then it's obviously the chemicals that releases into the ozone, the atmosphere, that then causes all the rain, which then floods and freezes, and you're like, fuck. 2 weeks this all happened, and you're like, wow.
I know. You can't. So we have nothing to draw from it.
We sit here last week and we went out there and it was sunny as fuck. We went out 20 minutes later, it was pissing down. We went back out again, it was windy. You're like, how many times is this going to change? Like, that was mad. Imagine fucking hellfire and brimstone raining down every time you open the fucking door.
Acid rain.
But that would wipe out any existence of anything that's there before.
That coincides with the stories of Noah's Ark too, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's mad. It's
I
mad.
found out a bad thing about Christopher Columbus actually as well.
Chrissy, I hate him in America now, so they do.
So Christopher Columbus now wasn't the person. Well, we all know that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America because the Vikings were before him. But Christopher Columbus isn't actually the one who found America the way that the story's told. There was some other guy. I think he was either black or Hispanic or something. He wasn't a white guy, let's put it that way, right?
Well, Christopher Columbus was Spanish, like. They're all it was a Spanish explorer.
I don't know, but whoever originally did it wasn't of white origin, right? And then they came back and told whatever Christopher Columbus's real name was at the time, that his Spanish name, we'll say, right? He then went and done it. But because he was such a bastard and he raped and pillaged a lot of people whenever he got there, he was hated by the natives and hated by his people for the unspeakable crimes that he'd done once he found this Newfoundland.
The conquistadors, you called them?
Aye. And because then Christianity was taken off around the world, they were like, let's rebrand him. If we call him Chris, that's like Christ. And we'll call him that, and then we'll say that he's this great fellow that discovered the new world, and we'll paint him off as a saint and just rebrand it that way. And I'm like, right, okay, sweet. And that's then how Christopher Columbus' story actually came about. I was like, that's fucking nuts.
I listened. There was 3 or 4 of them. I listened to one of them podcasts, but there's 3 or 4 of them that done it. And when they were sent over, they were going over just really to get rich. But it was like, let's, for talk's sake, say a businessman, the Shankle, said to me and you, right here, I'll fund your expedition. All you have to do is give the king X amount of tax. The rest, fucking,
you can keep
what you want.
Yeah.
So they started going over and they were doing that there. But it got to the stage where, they found one civilization, I can't remember what it was, let's say it was the Aztecs, and then they pushed further in, towards the east coast, or the west coast, sorry, and they found another civilization. But then the guy that went to find the Mayan civilization found it, started overtaking it, but then the other guy sent a thing from Cuba to go and kill him. So they were just fighting with each other over. It was.
They got word. Oh, there's a big find of gold up here. Right, go and kill them. We'll steal that gold.
So it wasn't like it was. They all went over under the Spanish flag. Yeah. But they were just See, once they got there, it was like, all right, you're my team, let's go and fuck Christopher Columbus up here because he's a cunt. And mate, see, many of the leaders that kept getting beheaded and all, it was madness. Like, but also, not only that, I think it was like 90% of the people that left Spain, they never ever went back. Never made like
That's
it was
nuts.
It was crazy. And then see the guys that landed on Florida first time,
Aye.
4 ships, 300 people. 10 years later, they ended up the ship's crashed to get in. Got
Aye, because of all the grasslands and all that there.
held hostage by a fucking a tribe, Indian tribe in Florida, and they were walking all around just following the tribe. 10 years later, the two of the guys out of the 300 walked into Mexico City. They got away, but only 2 of them made 10 years later.
See, there was something I was watching like that there. I can't remember what it was. It was these people had went into the jungle again looking for some lost civilization, stumbled across the indigenous tribe people, and they were not taken hostage, but it was a bit hostile because they were like, no, we're setting up camp here because we want to explore, and they're like, no, get off our island, this is where we live.
Yeah.
But eventually the tribes people gave them an ultimatum: either join our tribe and live as us, or we'll kill you. And some went, some didn't.
Yeah.
And even now to this day, there's the DNA of the people within the tribe from the outsiders, and they've now created this new, not a breed of human, but like a different genetic code because it's 2 completely separate entities that have mixed now because of these people just getting lost whenever they were going exploring. I think
that's madness. That's crazy. It's like fucking Genghis Khan, mate.
Aye.
Fucking cunt's DNA's on 25% of the world.
Big lad was putting it about.
Bunking, like.
It would have been mad to be an explorer back then, though.
I know Marco Polo and all, mate. Like, it's fucking crazy. Marco Polo ended up with Kublai Khan. This guy was at Venice, 15.
I've heard the name.
So Marco Polo was he was a young lad, lived in Venice, Italy.
Yeah.
And his dad was like a trader, and he went away and met Kublai Khan, and came home. Like he was 16 years old the first time he met his dad.
Yeah.
So he came back, and his dad was like, "Oh, I have to bring Kublai wants like 100 priests brought over because he wants to learn about Christianity." And the wee mom was like, "Can I go? Can I go?" 25 years, Kublai Khan held Marco Polo captive, and then he let him go one day to bring a princess back. But he came back and started telling these stories, and like the 1200s, mate. This cunt had already travelled. He had walked the length and breadth of China and all, no collecting taxes for Kublai, mate. And he was the first ever global figure, apparently.
Aye.
It's crazy, mate.
It's mad how human history has been shaped based on people being dicks to each other. In reality, that's
all it is, mate. Pillaging, murder, rape.
Yep.
See if you're a woman back then.
Because realistically, history's only wrote by the victor. And that's what I love about archaeology, is starting to find stuff and they'll say, oh, well, this could never have happened. It's like these people were wiped out of the face of history because some guy was angry as fuck at them. It was like, you will never be remembered.
Yeah.
And now only because they found like pottery, they're like, oh, he's this tribe.
That's the way.
The fuck are these people doing here? There shouldn't be anybody here.
The Mongols were. There was a massive Muslim empire in like round where Syria and all was, and apparently it was a massive empire, like spanned so far, and the Mongols went in just fucking literally. They left it by pulling, getting mules to pull, to seed the ground, burnt everything, just right, die. Guess we're a history podcast again.
I think it took us a couple of weeks in there when we first started to become a history podcast.
That's the name of the episode. We're a history podcast again. But nah, it is just fuck. I love it, mate. It's fucking crazy. But you're right, mate. Like, see a woman that lived back then. Like, see if your husband, like, say an army came to your village. All the women were getting taken.
Yep.
They weren't getting killed. They were just getting wherever
Whatever
they were just
wanted.
getting rid. They were getting banging out kids left, right, and centre, slaves. But if your husband was like a king, and the fucking opposing army came and they made a deal, the deal would have been that all your daughters and all the princesses and maybe even your wife went with them too.
Yeah.
It was like they were just pieces of meat that they were being fired about. That's why. So people who are complaining that women don't have rights, it's crazy. Like, because women were probably the most harshly treated throughout all of that. Yes, men get killed. Women had to live the remainder of their life in captivity.
Yeah. Like proper fucking kidnap victims.
I know what I'd rather do. I'd rather be killed on the spot, like.
Than be a slave.
Just getting passed around this fucking dirty, stinking, drunken army.
You're like a spliff at a party.
Every night.
No.
Crazy, like.
It is. It's mad how we've survived so fucking long without really wiping ourselves off the face of the planet.
I know.
Won't be too long now.
Doomsday is approaching. Do you ever see that doomsday clock?
Aye.
Fucking.
That's just a massive scare tactic to pay some old bastards a lot of money for nothing. Oh, well, we're going to move this forward 1 second. Are you? Like, it's not even a full clock. It's a quarter of a clock.
I know.
Because they're like, oh, well, we're never, like, why can it never get to, like, 11:30? Why does it always have to be 11:45 or sooner?
I think it's like fucking a couple of minutes to 12 at the minute, like.
Let's see, where's the doomsday clock at?
It is. The world's crazy. I don't know. Seeing all the shit that's happened over the years, and it could so easily go back to
100 seconds to midnight. Oh, 90 seconds to midnight it's currently set up.
Jesus. We're nearly there.
90
Yo,
seconds.
fucking Putin.
Is this going to be like the
yourself.
Millennium Bug, though, whenever it hits 12, where everybody thinks it's going to go mad, and then nothing actually happens? Like, oh, was that...
I know
was that
flowers
it,
and trees just start growing
Aye.
really everywhere.
people become fucking one with their spiritual self and just start fucking rising
Magic mushrooms just start popping around. Everyone's like, it's like no big saying "eat me."
up. Like Alice in Wonderland or something.
It's time for the next phase of evolution.
I see what you did there.
But I know, I'm scared about the future, but also excited. Like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so much to look forward to. But then, whenever you do start going down these history rabbit holes and the things that are going on now, it is hard not to become fucking scared. Like, do you know what I mean?
Again, history repeats itself quite a lot.
Yeah.
I said to you the other week, I don't think I said it on the show, but the thing that annoys me about where we currently are, like, we were born in a really shit time, because with the technological advancements that are about to happen over the next 30 years, we'll be dead, or nearly dead, or too old to enjoy it by the time it actually reaches its peak. Like quantum computers and all that there, by the time they are actually functioning the way, like, we have phones now that do everything, or we've got the laptops and all that there, once it's integrated into society as much as all that technology has been, we'll be like, what button am I supposed to push? Where's the fucking camera?
I know our kids will be right in the thick of it, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
they'll be right in the thick of it. But again, the phones fucking took off really quick. Once they get the quantum computing going, it'll probably be pretty quick before the...
I know, but yes, phones
'Cause
took off,
if-
but it's still 23 years, man.
I know, but like from even 10 years ago, what they're like, it's insane. Like, but what my thinking is, with quantum computing going to be so good, once they get the first one going, it'll be able to help them get the rest of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Fingers crossed. Anyway, does sound scary, doesn't it? It sounds scary.
Well, no one seems to have fact-checked Google yet from last week, whenever they said that they now have finally solved some quantum puzzle that would take a computer 47 years to do. It took them 6 seconds to do it. So they were waiting for IBM to rebuke their findings, but there's been nothing has come out yet, so maybe it has happened. Maybe
That's
Google does
exciting,
have
like.
that sentient AI that you were talking about. And
You can't trust the fuckers, can you?
no,
But it
let's
is
be honest, they're
exciting,
never telling us.
No, we'll be lost, I know.
Not to keep going on about this, because I know we've talked about this quite a lot, but did you see the two high up Washington government officials that come out talking about UFOs the last couple of days?
Haven't.
So
Is there a video?
No, it's just news reports. There might be a video somewhere, but it was a news report that I read. One fella came out and said that enough's enough. The government definitely have some sort of secret program where they go and extract crashed sites and all that there, and that all these black budget secret government things that are above top secret need to be brought to light, because everybody else has no money, and it's time for us to stop paying unless you're going to tell us what the fuck you're building. And then 2 days later, another fella came out in Washington, and he goes, I know for a fact that we've been covering this up since 1890. He's like, I have evidence to prove this. There's definitely UFOs, and everybody needs to wake the fuck up in a shorter version of what he said. You're like,
It's fucking mad.
it's mental, though, now that whole thing's come out to say, yeah, any NDAs that you had, please ignore them. Just come out, tell us what your story is. We're all really keen to find out now. And it's just like fucking dominoes, man. It seems like every other day someone in Washington's coming out going, yep, I was there. I seen it.
All right, we need this to hurry up. Like, we need the people to.
I would say the next
That
5
changes
years.
humanity. Like.
But again, is
it
it going to be UFOs, or will it be that the American government have like free energy?
Or
and
what are they
clean
trying to
energy?
hide us from? Because see what you're saying there about black budget. Do you know how they pay for the black budget?
No.
So, like, say they go
Oh,
on
like
raid.
scare tactics.
Where
and
they
shit.
get the money from? Like, say they go and raid Pablo Escobar and find loads
Aye.
of cash. All that goes into it, or they sell the drugs, or say they find barrels of cocaine.
Aye.
That gets sold.
Right.
And that's how they get. That's why it's called a black budget, because it's off the books. But the CIA would like sell guns to fucking whoever. Do you know what I mean? And
Aye.
That's where all that money comes from. So it could be trillions a year. Nobody knows because there's no record cap of it. It's just someday a fucking fellow drives up in a van till the CIA headquarters and just goes, here, there's a big bag of money that we raided off such and such.
Nuts though.
Isn't it? No, there is no video, no.
Trying to find it or see if there is, but it is. It'll be.
Department press briefing.
No, it's not. There's no video of it. It's just news reports. But it'll be a game changer if anything does get brought out. But again, it's
We talked about this before in the show, but like the
top secret public
uh,
safety shite.
the Muslim world will fall apart, Christianity falls apart, everything falls apart.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll find some way to spin it.
There was one thing I was reading. I'm not reading. It was I think it was a documentary or something I was watching, and a guy who's very into this. He's one of these high up whistleblowers. He's like, I want this to come out, and I'm going to speak to my contacts and get them to come on camera. Yada yada yada. And one guy that he spoke to was again saying, no, it's not aliens. It is that we have this, and that the American government obviously can't tell us because they've killed people and
Yeah.
space launches, and they've made us have all this energy, and we've destroyed the environment when it could have all been fixed. They say, but think of it this way: everything has been conquered on Earth. There's no more war to really have. Russia and Ukraine aren't counting. America have fought with everybody. They've won everything. They've no more countries that they can say, we've got to go to war, give us your money. Got to go to war, give us your money. So they've created a space force now, because he thinks then the next false flag is going to be an attack from space.
Yeah.
There is aliens, but they're going to fuck us up. You need to give us your money so we can build space weapons. And that's going to be the next pitch. And I was like, fuck, if they did do that, that would be mental.
I know, fuck. But
Like,
the
imagine
much
faking
times,
an alien invasion.
I know.
And then it
That
I really
unites the world, though.
Yeah.
Like, and see as
Against
well,
the common enemy.
A common enemy, but also coming out and saying, right here, we have been lifting crafts. That also unites the world, because then China are like, hold on, what are we all fighting together for? We need to defend in case these things come back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it solves
But
so
what
much.
what is there to say? Like, there's no, the fact that we don't even know if anything's real. Why do we think that they're going to be a threat? I would say, given how advanced people have said that these things are, if they wanted to fuck us over, we would be well
Fucked
gone.
over already. Yeah.
Like, clearly we're being monitored, or it's some sort of watch operation. It's not
yeah.
let's hurt people. So why do we need to fight them?
I've heard Rogan talk about it. It's been since the atomic bombs went off in Japan that that's when all the activity really starts hotting up.
Yeah.
And if you were intergalactic species and you were keeping an eye on Earth, just waiting for us to get
Blow
to the
ourselves
next
up.
level, but to get to the next level, to come in and join the fucking
Yeah.
galaxy government or whatever, and then you hear that, because I'm sure them atomic bombs sent shockwaves around the fucking universe. If you have good technology, you can pick it up, and they're like, yo, you may go and keep an eye on them fucks.
That again, like, they might
There is reports of
might
them
just debris all
turning
we have.
nuclear
Yeah, I've
facilities
seen
in
that.
there.
But like the fact that we've littered space so bad with all our experiments, and the fact that we have all these missile defense systems, but instead of pointing them outwards towards comets or things that could actually fuck us up, we point them at each other and go, you stay on your side of the street or I'll blow you up, you cunt. And it's like, why would you want to be fucking involved with us? We're just a fucking hateful bunch of people.
know.
Even if you did want to try to get on with another species, we would probably be racist towards them and
Oh,
fucking...
no, the first chance we got to fuck them over, like,
Yeah.
it would be like, here, get them out of that spacecraft, right? Put them in that glass box.
We don't want them living in our community.
Once they're in the glass box, like, yo, we got a spaceship.
Just imagine putting them on top of the bonfire. We fucking alien flags.
Alien flag. Fuck's sake, every year.
I fucking Morklark.
We're going to build it so it is near reaching space so they can see it. We'll get it up the our peace wall, you cunts.
Speaking of the atomic bomb as well, I'm going to see that Oppenheimer film.
I want to see it
When it
myself.
comes out. We booked in to see it on the 21st when it comes out.
It comes out 2 days before I go away. I'll wait to come
It
back.
looks class.
Does mate? I know a lot. Like Oppenheimer, he was a fucking German mate.
Yeah.
Fucking, like they stole him.
It's
during
mental though what he done for the rest of his life after he made the bomb though.
Pull up the quote he said, mate. The quote that Oppenheimer said when he dropped. It's fucking.
Yeah.
I don't want to butcher it myself because.
It's kind of like opening Pandora's box.
Or is it there?
Now I am become the death, the destroyer of worlds.
That's curry, like.
Yeah. But he after he invented the bomb,
Hold on, let me put it up so people can see it.
he spent the next 30 years of his life doing everything in his power to stop them using the atomic bomb. Because he was like, I have really fucking done bad. This was intended for good, and you have managed.
It did do good though, like, because if they didn't drop them 2 bombs on Japan, millions of American soldiers were going to have to invade that mainland, and multi-millions of people. Because see, even the Spanish kids there, or the
in the longer scheme, fuck dropping them on Japan. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, with the threats of all nuclear and atomic war now, and how advanced it's become, he definitely let Pandora out of the box.
Oh, 100%. And I don't understand, because like it's so good for like energy.
Energy, yeah.
And it's so scared off now.
Because that's what people think. They think whenever they hear atomic energy or using nuclear power plant, nuclear energy, and all, they're like, oh, am I going to get like fucking radiation and all?
You know what? The Simpsons fucked that up because he worked it.
Yeah.
But where it's not, like, it's so easy to store. It's so clean for the environment.
Yeah.
Like, I watched a documentary on it where they were like, should nuclear be, it was called like, should nuclear be our next thing? And had Elon Musk and all in it.
But it's the dangers of, if something does go wrong, it's how cataclysmically bad it can turn very quickly. Like, do you know what I mean? If you turn your microwave on and a fuse blows, it's not going to blow up half the fucking country.
But it's the same. Know that one in Japan with the tsunami?
Fukushima.
No one died there.
Yeah.
No one died there. No one got sick. Like, no one talks about this. It was well contained. Their backup systems were pretty good. And now, Chernobyl was a fucking different kettle of fish. But again, it was only like, I think it was only 20 people died there.
In Chernobyl?
Aye.
There's a lot more than 20 people died because of Chernobyl.
After, because they were sending people in with no protection on to move the fucking roads.
But like, in
the explosion itself, I don't think many people died. It was just after. Remember, they had the helicopter. The helicopter hit the crane and all. So like, but also the Soviet Union didn't have good safety precautions like the Japanese did. Well, whereas if you're going to do it, you fucking have to.
A lot of stuff was learned
years.
because of Chernobyl. Though Chernobyl happened and it then stopped that repeating itself anywhere else in the world. It's like a safeguarding against that kind of thing. But unfortunately, it's the way of the world. We could safeguard it, but we'll not do it until someone dies or something bad happens, and then we'll all rush to fix that problem.
Germany, they had loads of nuclear power stations, and they went and sacked them all off. See now, they wish they had them going, like, because they were relying on Russian oil for 10 years, and now they're not getting it. Joe Biden made sure of that after blowing up that Nord Stream.
Everyone got fucked by that, like, didn't it?
But again, nuclear power's there. It can do, what is it? What's the other one? Nuclear fusion?
Yeah.
Like electricity.
That's what they're trying to do now. They've got somebody done a successful fusion test a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And it was the first one of their type. It was like they managed to contain the heat of the sun within this wee tiny box. I think that's fucking nuts.
It's scary, isn't it? It is scary shit.
But it's also shit that people probably shouldn't be playing with. As good as it is, again, if that shit goes wrong, it goes boom, and we're all dead.
I know, but it's not, again, like, it's the same. The only way, see if a nuclear war happens, the only way, what do you pulling faces for?
I'm burping. But
See,
I was trying not to burp into the microphone.
So you just make yourself so obvious doing it. But no, this is the thing. See, the only reason the world ends if there's a nuclear war, it's not because of one nuke. It's because it's going to be 10,000 nukes. Do you know what I mean? So it's not, like, if a nuclear power station blows up, right, put a fucking 30-mile perimeter around it, it's not the end of the world, like. It really isn't. Like, the only reason the world ends...
people it is.
Yes, if you work there and that, but again, the safety... See what I don't... See the thing where like a steel rod or a nuclear rod's about that.
The uranium.
And like, you just dig a hole and put it in, but one of them rods, like, it's every couple of years that does the job. I don't understand. Like, see, reading into it and watching documentaries.
The half-life of
why the fuck did they not just do it? And then there was one about batteries or something.
The amount of money that the petrol companies get.
Well, this is it. This is
it's
when
like big pharma and
this is when we
big
turn
oil.
into conspiracy theories.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? But America has fuck all oil left, so why are they so against it? You know what I mean?
Because
the Middle East are fucking
the
flying.
amount of American fuel owners, businesses.
Fuck them.
They don't have American oil, but they've got American interests.
I know, that's
BP,
things like that.
Yeah.
The Saudi Arabians.
On that lovely note, will we take our drum and beat it, will we?
Play
and watch some fucking
What's the
burn.
band? So high. Right, everyone, thanks for watching.
Yes.
Please go and check out the Dice stuff. And
d1ce.co.uk.
Yep, and there's more Phase 2 music coming soon, and we've loads of shows coming up over the summer. We'll see you there.
Peace.
Peace.
Phase 2.